This spooky season, Smash Fiction welcomes you to Smashtoberfest.
Welcome to Extraordinary League, an actual play RPG podcast brought to you by Smash Fiction. I'm Dan Mulkerin, your game master. Playing Stitch is Kit Mulkerin.
Hi.
That's creepy.
Playing Mordin Solus is Colin Mulkerin.
Not always gaming. Sometimes I fall asleep.
Playing Dante Sparta is Liz Logan.
Dante Sparta!
Playing Nico Minoru is Miles Schneiderman.
Mysterious villain identification! No? Is that not no? Alright.
Give it time. Previously, you journeyed north to Winterfell in search of the Stone of Grace. You made your way through a snowy forest, encountered and managed to outrun an improbably huge group of wolves, led by an improbably huge direwolf, and you found yourselves safely within the walls of Winterfell. Unfortunately, the normal ruling family there has all left or been killed, and the only people you found there were some squatters from the nearby village. They told you that the Stone of Grace, along with the other treasures of Winterfell, had been taken north of the wall by the wildlings for tribute to Daenerys Targaryen. You've taken up the squatter's offer of hospitality, and you've bedded down for the night in Winterfell, intending on continuing your journey northward once you are rested. So, as the scene opens, Nico and Stitch are sharing one room, Dante and Mordin are sharing another room,
Oh god.
and Geralt has wandered off to parts unknown in the castle. Nico,
Yes.
you suddenly wake up with the intense and irrefutable knowledge that someone is watching you.
Stitch is like totally just hovering right over your face. Like practicing the loogie trick to see how far he can make it go without waking you up.
Oh no.
Okay. I mean, I look around, but I'm assuming it's dark.
It is dark. You kind of like scan the room once with your eyes. You look in one direction, you're not seeing anything. You look in the other direction, you're not seeing anything. And then when you look back, you see that there's a face watching you from the shadows.
Oh, shit.
That is genuinely creepy to me.
A shadow.
Yeah.
We're gonna sleep with the lights on tonight?
The color of both its skin and hair is bone white. The hair is long, and it also has a kind of longish but well-trimmed and well-groomed beard and mustache. It gazes at you with eyes that are in shadow, but you can see points of light from beneath the shadow, kind of like when you look at like a wolf or a cat at night, and its eyes are reflecting the light in a strange way. Is
the light any color aside from light colored?
It is red colored.
See? I was afraid of that.
As you react to this, the face kind of moves forward, and it seems as though a body sort of forms around it out of the shadows as it moves slightly toward you. And you can see that it's the body of a very well-dressed man in rather good shape. He's wearing a very elegant red and black clothing, complete with a long black cloak with red inlining and a high collar that sort of frames his face. As he takes a step toward you, he stretches out one hand in a calming gesture and says, "Please, I mean you no harm."
I am merely Dracula. Okay. Then what are you doing here?
I was informed of your arrival and decided I needed to see for myself this enchanting figure which had come to my home.
Thanks, I guess. I mean, creepy, but, a compliment. Do you have a name? Creepy fortress castle ice person?
He says, of course. What are my manners? You may call me Dracula.
Wait, really?
I hope that's in character for you.
Yeah, I was just gonna say this is actually happening.
Yeah, no, that was wow. By the way, this whole time I'm trying to surreptitiously kick Stitch. If Stitch is within foot kicking range.
Oh yeah, I would say so.
Okay. Stitch, I will allow you to mediate your reaction to any of this. I assume you're still asleep right now, but if you should deign to wake up at any point, you are free to do so.
I'm gonna say it takes several kicks and then Stitch falling off the bed for him to begin to stir a little bit.
Sure.
Damn it.
And he's kind of upside down with his butt leaning against the bed.
There you go.
Okay. Dracula, I've heard of you. In point of fact, is my staff anywhere nearby?
I imagine it probably went into you when you went to
Reabsorbed,
sleep.
yeah. Okay, I was afraid of that. So you live here, do you? This is your castle?
This is my current dwelling, yes.
Okay, because I had been led to believe that the rulers of this castle had fled or died or something.
This is not my preferred residence, but then neither of us are in the areas where we typically come from now, are we?
But no, of course I am of this world.
Yes, of course. You do not have to put on this facade with me. And he kind of makes a gesture with his hand, and your image inducer suddenly begins to spark and smoke, and your hologram of yourself as a big burly sellsword fades away.
Stitch finally blinks his large eyes awake, just kind of rubs them cutely, begins to look over to where he fell from, and then notices Dracula. His ears perk up in alertness and then fall back as he growls and gets into all fours in defensive doggy posture.
And
Not
can I
all
ask
sixes.
what does Dracula smell like?
oh, Dracula smells real bad. Not stinky, but just
He smells like a dead thing, right?
yeah, you can tell there's
yeah.
something deeply wrong with this thing.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say Stitch knows this ain't right.
Dracula looks down at Stitch and says, "Control yourself, animal."
I
As
don't
I
think
w-
he's an animal. I mean, we all are, technically, but...
He may not look like the disguise he has given himself, but he is little more than a beast.
Stitch kind of stands up, offended, on his two legs, which I suppose looks like a dog standing on two legs.
Yeah, that's correct.
Disturbing in itself, but he's gonna rip the blankets off of the bed and do the little spin thing, and then try to whip Dracula with them.
Okay, make a fighting check. You're basically trying to do a locker room style towel snap at Dracula.
Fuck you. Yeah, no, you gotta wake up pretty early in the morning to get Dracula with the old towel snap.
Yep. I'm gonna roll something real quick. Stitch, you lash out with your improvised blanket whip at Dracula, and basically the tip of the whip sort of just slashes right through him, and his whole form seems to dissolve away like a mirage. And then, as you're sort of looking around the room, you suddenly realize that he's standing to your right. You barely have time to register this before you see his hand lift up, and you are lifted from your feet and flung out the window.
Nice Doppler effect.
Thanks.
He turns
That's
to...
a compliment rarely given by people.
Yes.
I usually hear hey man, nice Doppler effect.
Yeah. I saw what you did with that Doppler, man. That was good. Dracula turns to Nico at this point. Now then, as I was saying, I could smell that you are not of this particular world, as I am not either. And I find this to be an intriguing situation. How precisely did you find yourself traveling to other worlds?
Science?
Is that so? Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know much about it, but it's definitely science.
Tell me, have you heard the call from the dark shape in the snow?
Yes.
He sort of closes his eyes and tilts his head back as though he's hearing some phantom song. It is beautiful, is it not? I find myself drawn to it. I wonder if you feel the same.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you know what it is?
He finally opens his eyes, looks back at you, and says, I do not know what it is, but I am eager to find out, if I may be so bold. To have someone such as you, with the power that you command at my side when I do so, would be a boon not known in life or death.
Guys, Dracula's hitting on me and I don't know how to handle it.
So skeevy. Welcome to being a woman.
I'm saying, when I signed on to play a female character, I was not prepared.
Hashtag not all vampires.
but definitely this one.
Hashtag all Draculas.
Hashtag yes, all Draculas.
Yes, all Draculas. Can we switch back to Stitch?
Yes, make an agility check, Stitch.
Okay. Green.
Okay, I will let you decide where you ended up.
There's a chicken coop, kind of outside.
A chicken coop.
Yeah, a chicken coop. He landed right in a chicken coop.
Are you still
the Starks of
are you,
Winterfell, they love their fucking chicken.
I love chickens. They're great.
Are you still within the walls of the castle?
Yeah. No, he just they're just having to be a chicken coop, not too far out.
Okay, sure.
Got through out the window. He's looking around. It's dark. There's like feathers and panicking animals all around. How far do you want to put me away from?
You were in like 3 or 4 floors up, and then he probably flung you about 60 feet out.
Okay. Well, I'm not about to do math, Dan. So, I see your tricks.
Yeah. So you're about 60 feet from the wall, the wall of the castle you were just thrown from.
I did learn how to do this math, but I forgot.
Okay, great.
So, all right, Stitch is gonna make his way back because his guitar is in that room too.
Yeah.
He's not leaving his Marlene behind.
So is your idea to just like climb up the exterior wall?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
He can totally do that.
All right. So Stitch begins to run across the snow-covered inner yard of the castle, back to Nico's room. So he has just presented you with what some might describe as an opportunity, Nico.
Yeah. No, I think I'm gonna go with him.
Okay, great.
Yeah, for sure.
Great.
What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, absolutely.
Before we go, I need to grab something if you don't mind.
He gestures.
I think I still have that switchblade, right?
Yeah, you
I'm
do.
assuming. Yeah, so I'll take out the switchblade and cut myself. When blood is shed, let the staff of one emerge.
When you cut yourself, you see his eyes begin to glow red.
Oh, no.
And and they like fixate on where you cut yourself.
Yeah.
All right, so you pull out the staff. I'm going to switch over to another room where Mordin is currently sleeping and a very naked Dante is standing watch.
Jesus Christ.
My kingdom.
Dante, make an intuition roll with a bonus for perception. Mordin, make the same roll, but you're acting at a -4.
Green.
I got a white.
Okay. Dante, what are you doing as the scene shifts into this room?
What
Dare
do
I
you
ask?
think I'm doing? I'm leaning. I've got my one arm pressed up against the window. The moonlight is cutting sweet lines on my abs,
Sure.
and my beard is free flowing.
Is this like a pose that Dante's been practicing in his room in front of a full-length mirror that he thinks like is his maximum sexual attractiveness?
Yes.
Okay, yep. As you're practicing this move, wishing that you could see how sexy you looked right now,
It's pathetic.
you hear the sound of something coming from the other side of the room, and after a moment of listening, you think that someone is trying to pick the lock to your room.
Ah, shit. What's Mordin's chick name?
I believe we said it was Mordana.
Oh yeah, that's right, Mordana.
Oh my god, answer the door in the buff.
I totally am. Are you kidding? I'm just gonna like casually walk over to the bed, lay a loving hand on Mordana's feet, and just be like wistful, like.
And as we have established, you touch Mordana's feet, and though they look like beautiful lady feet, you feel Mordin's weird alien feet. You don't know what Solarian feet look like, but I assure you they are probably really weird looking.
They're probably webbed, is what I'm guessing.
Oh yeah, because they're like semi-aquatic.
They must have like amphibian style skin too.
Yeah.
That's smooth, weird.
Regardless, I like it. So I'm gonna walk over to the door. I'm sneaking, obviously.
Obviously.
I want to take my fist and literally punch it through the lock,
Oh, nice.
and then attempt
Okay.
to grab whoever's hand is lockpicking.
That's so good. Liz, make a strength check for me.
Okay. I'm just so powerful. Yellow.
The lock and the wood around it explodes outward. Your fist finds the face of someone who had been crouching behind the door, peering through the lock, trying to set all the pins and tumblers and such. You yank him through the now broken in half door, and you see that it's one of the commoners who was squatting in the castle that you happened to spot last night when you all came in. There's 5 other commoners standing on the other side of the door, all of whom are wielding their sort of crappy weapons, and all of whom look at you with a kind of scarily, inhumanly blank look.
Are you really that jealous that I'm with the most beautiful woman on this stupid planet? Jeez. Get over yourselves.
They all intone in this sort of low voice, kill for the master. And they begin to move closer. Let's all roll initiative.
Gotta love when the controlled people make it obvious who they're...
Yeah, absolutely.
I got a 9.
8.
5.
Intuition.
I swear to God, Miles. Miles, watch. Miles and I are in the same room this time. I'm going to write this on your sheet. D10 plus, okay, and it's 10's digit of your intuition. Intuition is excellent, so that's 2. So D10 plus 2. There. You never have to ask again.
Awesome. I'll remember that. Cool.
Nope, Miles just highlighted it to delete it.
I got a 4.
Dracula's up first. Dracula seems to go into something of a barely controlled frenzy when your blood spills out of your hand, Nico. And he lunges for you and is going to try to grab your wrist.
You know, you is the oldest vampire ever, right? And you still can't control yourself around blood.
You don't understand the hunger.
I do have my staff at this point, right?
You do have your staff.
Okay, good.
You can't play Dracula. Did you see the way she was bleeding? She was asking for
Oh.
Oh my god.
Oh, my butthole clenched so tight. I was so angry at that.
Dracula's
vampire
sudden
has needs. That's all I gotta
Dracula's
say.
sudden movement knocks his fedora askew.
He suddenly stops writing on his blog.
Nico, you see this blur of movement from him, and it's basically all you can do to reflexively sort of turn away. In your movement, your staff knocks his hand away from your wrist. He stares balefully at you as he begins to move at you.
Okay.
Mordin, it is your turn. You are just now waking up after Dante exploded the door.
How sturdy is this bed? Can I say, like, it's not like a big, heavy 4-poster bed, but it's like a little bit of like a flimsier one?
Whatever you would prefer.
Cool. All right. So I'm going to say that Mordin is going to roll away from the door, and then when he's down below the bed, he's going to flip the bed up so that it creates a very convenient chest-high wall that he can lean against. And I'll like root around and pull a gun out and just kind of get in a good position and get behind some cover.
I'll say that's your turn. I'll say you can pull out one of your guns. Which one do you want?
Hand cannon.
Okay, Stitch, it is your turn. You are basically right at the lower lip of the window that you got thrown out of.
Okay, he pulls himself up.
Yeah, looking inside, you can see that Dracula is attempting to grab Nico.
He's just gonna straight up launch himself from window directly to Dracula, not gonna touch the ground, just boom, like a little rocket.
Okay, cool. I guess you can do that as a charge attack if you want.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Yellow.
Okay, you come barreling into the room, and you hit Dracula with the force of a cannonball. He is thrown off his feet and goes flying through the wooden door on the far side of the room. He flies over the stone railing which lines the walkway outside your room, but he stops in midair just beyond the balcony and glares into the room with his hair sort of like drifting around him as though he was underwater. Dante, it is your turn.
Now that I have a guy by his face, he'll obviously turn into the perfect bowling ball.
Of course.
And we'll be going into the 5 others.
Okay. Yeah. You guys in your flagrant abuse of this system. I'm gonna say
you ain't seen nothing yet, buddy.
make a fighting check for that. Here's what I'll also say, Liz.
I just rolled a 97!
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, you're just attacking one
I'm
target.
sure it wasn't a 9.7.
No.
Dante, you slam this guy into another one of his fellow conspirators / mind-controlled murderers. They both go down just utterly. Like, they're totally out. So 2 of them are down. Nico, it is your turn.
So I'm gonna go ahead and point my staff at Dracula, who I believe is still in my line of sight.
Yeah, you'll just have to move a little bit, but you can easily get him in your line of sight.
Okay. My spell is going to be Sunlight Blood.
Sunlight Blood.
Yes. As in transmute blood to sunlight.
Interesting. Okay. Go ahead and roll.
And I will spend karma on this. It's a good thing. I'll go ahead and kick that up by 10 to make it a green.
Every vein in his body begins to radiate light as his blood begins to glow with actual sunlight. He sort of like blinks, looks down at his hand, which is now glowing brightly, looks up at you partly in confusion, and then just sort of laughs. And he says,
It's a vampire.
This is a very specific Dracula.
Dan, vampire.
Yeah, you know what actual Bram Stoker Dracula wasn't vulnerable to? Was sunlight.
What?
Yeah.
Yep.
Read a book or watch a Gary Oldman movie.
Exactly.
No. Neither of those things will I do.
Although this is not, for the record, Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Nor is it Francis Ford Coppola's Bram
Exactly.
Stoker's Dracula.
Nor is it Mike Mignola's adaptation of Francis Ford Coppola's Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Oh, dude, so it's Mike Mignola's Francis Ford Coppola's Bram Stoker's Dracula?
Exactly.
Oh, that's great.
He laughs and says, "It has been some time since I feared the sunlight. I wonder, small one, what it is that you fear." And he begins to glide toward you.
Well, at the very least, he should have some trouble getting oxygen to his extremities. If his,
His blood is sunlight.
Well, his blood is emitting sunlight, is what I'm going to say.
Okay.
If Miles had gotten a better result, he would have gotten a better result.
Yeah,
Right,
that makes sense.
As it is, his blood is just emitting sunlight.
Should have been enough if this vampire was the same as Runaways vampires.
Yeah,
But,
absolutely. Dante, the other mind-controlled commoners begin to swarm you and stab at you with pitchforks and swing torches at you and swing poor-quality swords at you.
No.
See, Dracula weaknesses.
Okay.
For the record, Miles is Googling Dracula
I am not.
weaknesses.
I was just pretending to.
Dante, you have 2 potential hits coming at you. You can choose to dodge or block either.
Dodge.
Roll me some agility.
Yellow.
Okay. Was that just 1 dodge?
Oh, should I roll another?
Well, yeah, you have 2 attacks that might hit you.
Okay,
So
I'll
you
roll
can dodge
another.
both.
It's a white.
Okay. You manage to dodge out of the way of 1, but the pitchfork sort of catches you in the side and you take 10 damage. We are back up to Dracula. As he begins to glide toward the room with Nico and Stitch, he grabs the hem of his cape and sort of draws it across his body and then flings it outward. And as he does so, a trio of fireballs erupts from it and streaks towards Stitch.
Shit. It's too close quarters for this shit, man. You're gonna kill the whole party.
Stitch, 2 of them whiz by you, but 1 hits you square in the face. That's 30 fire damage.
No, it isn't. He has class 1000 versus fire.
Nice!
Fire does nothing
Yeah,
to him.
it splashes over you harmlessly.
No. It ruins his little nightgown.
Oh
You monster.
Well, this is clearly a video game Dracula.
That is correct.
Shit. Fucking video games. You ruin everything.
Is there a Dracula in Castlevania?
Mordin,
Yes.
it is your turn.
Hey, Dan, could I say that I had a different gun on me?
You haven't used it yet, so sure.
Could it be my portal gun?
Sure.
Could I make an orange portal on the wall and a blue portal at the feet of some of the people that are hassling Dante?
Sure. They're pretty close together, but the portals aren't super big, so I'll say that you'll have to make an agility check to hit them, and if you get a yellow or better, you can catch 2 of them.
Okay, cool.
So where are you exactly trying to deposit them?
Just the wall of this room, a little ways away from us.
So you're just kind of trying to, like, dump them on the ground?
Yeah, I just kind of want to make them... They're going to fall a few feet unexpectedly and maybe, like, twist an ankle or fall on top of each other. Just gravity getting reversed, we'll just kind of throw them off their game for a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
That's a yellow.
You manage to catch 2 of them in your portal, and they sprout out of the wall and go sprawling helplessly on the floor. They're still in the fight, but they are kind of prone and flailing around at this point. Stitch, it is your turn.
Okay, Stitch is gonna go shooting underneath the bed, and then all of a sudden the bed lifts up. He kind of like tosses it in the air so he catches it by its side, and then he wields it like a bat and swings it at Dracula.
Okay. Give me some fighting.
That's a green.
Very nice. The bed breaks in half as you smash it over Dracula. He soaks up the blow and is looking at you very irritated. What is it with this world and its beasts? If it's not you, it is the wolves outside.
So, what is it with this world, or what is it with this world?
He goes back and forth. He's done a lot of traveling, you know? Sometimes he forgets. Dante, it is your turn. Now that you're kind of standing in the doorway, you can see this guy in a Ponzi noble outfit go flying out of Nico and Stitch's room and fly back in, shooting fireballs out from under his cape. So you can see the outside portion of this fight from where you're standing right now.
I think that's the first time I've heard someone say the word Ponzi out loud.
If I had to use the word Ponzi, it would be describing Dracula.
Yes.
I'm gonna look back at Mordana and say, "Babe, I just found my next coat." And just dash out of the room after my new coat.
Leaving Mordana alone with the killer commoners. Very good. What are you doing exactly?
Running out
you
naked.
You can get to Dracula this turn.
I'm gonna steal his coat.
For real though, it's a nice coat.
Yeah.
Get it.
And I'm naked
Okay,
and I
so
notice a draft, so.
So you're trying to tear off his cape?
Yes.
Does he have a cape or a coat?
He has both, but like the cape is sort of blocking the coat, so
Okay.
give me a strength check, Dante.
Okay.
Very nice. You rip off Dracula's cape.
Yes.
He whirls around, just fury in his eyes. Nico, it is your turn.
So I just had an idea.
Okay.
And Dan, you can tell me if this is going to work or not. And if it's not, I don't know if you want me to still try it or if I just shouldn't bother. But my idea for my next spell was going to be Summon Buffy.
Oh shit.
Oh my god. Yeah, you can make that attempt. We'll see how it goes.
I will do so.
All right.
Well, that is a red.
Okay. So there's a puff of smoke, and Buffy the Vampire Slayer herself appears. I'm gonna say this is like a Final Fantasy style summon. So she has the scythe drawn and ready, and she looks around the room. Her eyes settle on Dracula, and she immediately knows her prey. Turns, looks at you, Nico, grins, and then jumps at Dracula with an overhand strike with her red axe. And she buries it in Dracula's chest. Dracula's blood begins to pool around the edge of the blade, and you can see that where it touches the blade, it sizzles and pops. Dracula lets out a grunt of pain and surprise. And then Buffy disappears.
Okay. That worked? Is the scythe still there?
It is not.
Damn it.
The two commoners that Mordin portaled into the room spend their entire turn disentangling themselves from each other and getting to their feet. The other two, which Dante abandoned, chase after Dante down the hall, attempting to prevent him from harming their master. Dante, one of them manages to wrap his arm around your neck and has you in a weird upright headlock. So he's grappling with you at the moment. Dracula looks down at the wound in his chest, which is not regenerating, unlike the other wounds that you guys have been dealing to him. And he turns and flies off down the hall and crashes through a door at the end. Mordin, it is your turn.
I'm gonna go over to one, just the nearest one, and neural shock him.
Okay. And that is a failure.
Cool.
He goes down. Stitch, it is your turn.
Stitch is gonna grab his guitar and follow.
Okay. Stitch is chasing after Dracula.
With a guitar.
It is Dante's turn.
I slow that guy around my neck.
Yep.
All right, well, I want to throw this guy off of me.
Okay. Make a strength check. You get a bonus for wrestling.
Green.
Yeah, you basically flip him over your head, and he hits his own head on the wall and goes unconscious.
Excellent.
Nico, it is your turn.
I'm gonna try and follow Dracula.
Okay, you follow Stitch, who is following Dracula. Mordin and Dante, you guys still have these commoners on you. Dante, one of them is swinging an old rusted sword at you, and it's looking like it's going to hit. You can try to dodge or block.
Dodge. Yellow.
You easily leap out of the way of it. Mordin, this guy swings a torch at your head, but you're easily able to step away from it.
Cool.
Mordin, it is your turn.
It's my turn?
It is.
That was fast, man.
Yeah, we're blazing through this fight, man.
Yeah. Me taking all this time to stop and talk about it's really helping with the pace that we're... Can I attempt a non-lethal attack on one?
Yes.
I would like to do that.
Okay. What do you want to do? Just like punch him or kick him?
I would ideally like to grab him and get him in like a sleeper hold.
Yeah,
and
sure.
wait until he loses consciousness or something.
If you want to try to knock him out with a strike, you can make a fighting check. If you want to try to grapple him into submission or unconsciousness, you can give me a strength check.
From what I recall, grappling's shitty and awful in the Marvel system. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
it's the payoff for it is really good, so it's really hard to do.
Okay. Are you cool with me just rolling fighting?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
These are mooks. I'm not gonna waste a lot of time worrying about, how fair it is to them.
I got a 3.
Okay, nope. He's managing to fight you off. Stitch, you've been chasing after Dracula. Mm-hmm. He basically led you out of the guest quarters area of the castle, and you are now standing in what looks like the armory. So there's a number of wooden tables. There's also some weapons hanging up on the wall. There's swords and axes and maces. There's even a few bows. There's some very obvious empty spots on the walls where, weapons were grabbed. This thing is clearly not fully stocked, but there's a couple of, suits of armor sort of standing around the perimeter of the room. As you run in, you can see that Dracula is at the far end of the room. When he sees you enter, he gestures and incants something that sounds ancient and archaic, and you see that the 4 suits of armor suddenly stir to life and begin walking toward you. So Stitch, it is your turn.
He's gonna pull out Marlene and play devil in disguise.
Okay. Very good. And I take it you're doing your area effect?
Yeah, it's a cone.
Okay. Dracula is outside of the cone.
Okay.
You can hit all 4 armors with it.
That's fine. Oh no!
You forgot that you broke the strings last time, and you still haven't replaced them.
I forgot to fix it.
Yep. Well, so much for that. Dante, it is your turn.
No one's on me anymore, right?
One of the guys just swung I think I said it was a sword at you.
Where's Dracula?
He ran off, and Stitch and Nico hurried after him. You can see where they went.
I want to follow them.
All right, so this commoner is still chasing you with a sword. Dante, it will take your full turn to catch up to Nico and Stitch. And Nico, it is your turn.
We are in the armory with Dracula. 4 suits of armor have just come to life, correct?
Correct.
They're between us and him, and he's laughing or some shit?
He's at the far end of the room, and they're sort of like at the midpoint of the room.
So they're at the midpoint of the room. How far away are they from me?
I'm going to say 40 feet from you. They're not moving with any degree of alacrity.
I'm going to say that Runaways came out in 2003, and she was supposed to be 16 in that book. So that means 2 years earlier, when the first Harry Potter book came out, she would have been 14. Which I'm going to probably guess is about an ideal age to get into that series.
We don't want to get into the Marvel sliding timescale, do we? Because
no. Assuming that Nico is a Harry Potter fan, she's going to point her staff at Dracula and say, Legilimens. And I'm going to try and read his mind.
Interesting. All right.
And that is a yellow.
You get this sudden flash of images in your head. You can see, basically from Dracula's perspective, as he is suddenly pulled into a portal which opens up out of nowhere and sucked into the forest around Winterfell. And you can see him sort of going through and beginning to dominate the various squatters there. And you can see that there were once quite a number of them, but he has slowly been whittling down their numbers as he's been feeding on them. You can see his image of the dream, which you recognize as, the dark shape standing in the snow, emitting this sort of seductive, tuneless, terrifying call. You can also see that there was a moment where he was out in the woods when he was suddenly attacked by the pack of wolves that you saw, and he attempted to control them, but he could not. You see that in his mind, he looked at the direwolf, and in his mind, he sort of connected that she was the reason he couldn't control this wolf pack. And so he was actually forced to flee from them.
All right.
Okay, the commoner with the sword continues to chase Dante, and Mordin, the other one, is trying to brain you with a torch. And is looking like he's going to do so unless you can dodge or block it.
Okay, I'll try and dodge. Nope, I got a 2.
All right, he hits you for 10.
Oh no! Now my force fields take it.
I don't think you have your force field, because as I recall, you were naked.
No, I sleep in my force field, dude. I sleep in, the only thing that I sleep in is a force field.
If nothing else, to protect you from Dante.
Yes. All right, now I'll take 10. I'll let it slide this time, Dan, but don't let it happen again.
Oh, yeah, sure. Of course, sir.
Yeah.
Whatever you say, sir. Dracula gestures with his hand, and suddenly there's this toxic cloud that erupts around Nico and Stitch. I need the both of you to make endurance checks.
I was about to say that my endurance is not good, but it is in fact exactly good.
Oh, good. Well, no, nothing to worry about then.
Which is not good.
Don't let the name fool you. Good is not good.
Yeah, that's a white.
I'll do karma.
All right.
I should have.
Oh, shit. I don't want to spend that much karma, but I will. I'll make it a red.
Okay. Stitch, you are fine. Nico, you get a lungful of this stuff. Each of your physical attributes drops by 1 rank.
Damn. Like, permanently?
For a bit.
Alright.
And that will lower your health accordingly. Mordin, it is your turn.
I'm gonna neural shock this last fool.
Okay. And he drops.
Yeah. Mordin's ineffectively trying to fight him and then waiting for the moment when his Omni tool dings, letting him know that his neural shock is recharged. Thank God. And just shocks
Absolutely. This guy's down. Do you want to do anything else, Mordin?
I kind of want to restrain these people. Is there anything in the room that I could use to tie them up? Bed sheets, I guess, but...
Yeah, I'll say you can spend the rest of your turn tying these guys up.
Okay, that's fine, yeah.
Stitch, it is your turn.
Stitch kind of snorts the poison gas out of his nostrils, shakes his head fussily, looks at his guitar in extreme anger and disappointment, flips it around so he's wielding it like a club, and then just dashes through the legs of the armor and tries to bash Dracula.
Dracula's too far away for you to get to this turn.
He's just going to dash through the armor. Then.
Okay, make an agility check to see if you can get past the armor without them attacking you.
Okay. Oh my god, dice. No! It's a white.
Yeah, you're unable to squeeze through the armor, and they sort of like close ranks around you as you try to.
These dice are dead to me.
I'll say that because they're blocking you, though, you can try to make an attack on them.
Okay. These are the dice I should have been using. I rolled 100.
Damn!
Wow.
Yeah, so just pissed.
You smash the armor to pieces. It is the armor's turn, and they close ranks around you and begin to raise and lower their swords at you. You know, aggressively and effectively, not just in general.
Stitch?
About as
Stitch, yes.
aggressively as the average, like, animatronic display in, like, in a Disneyland ride.
Basically, yeah. That's 3 hits on Stitch. Stitch, you're taking 3 hits at 25 damage each.
Okay. I basically only take 15 damage.
Yeah. Dante, it is your turn. You have arrived in the room. You are still naked. The commoner is still chasing you with a sword. You can see that Dracula is being protected by some walking suits of armor.
I'm gonna turn around and finally deal with this commoner. Take off my cape. Take off my cape and use it as like kind of a matador type thing. And use the cape so the commoner goes through the cape. Hopefully the sword goes through the cape, and then I can tangle up the sword and take it away from the commoner and then bitch slap him.
Oh, that's perfect.
You're really courting getting another hole in your new cloak. I just want to let you know.
Well, I'm hoping this might anger Dracula.
Give me an agility check.
I'm curious. Is commoner considered a politically correct term?
I mean, it's pretty accurate.
Pleb.
I guess I could go with peasant.
Pleb.
Weeb.
Pleb. Oh boy,
You know,
that's
the common folk.
That's a white.
Okay, nope. You sort of just end up getting tangled up in your own cape and sort of flailing around at him. Well, you're not used to it, you know? You're used to the weight and the feel of your own coat, and like this cape is a little longer and a little lighter, and it's just all wrong.
You know this shit's like velvet, suede, heavy
Yeah,
bullshit.
exactly. Nico, it is your turn.
So bad.
Alright, will point my staff at Dracula. I will use the spell Super Magnet
Okay.
with the intent of drawing everything metal in this room toward the wound on his chest.
Oh, that is brilliant.
Ah.
Very good. Let's see how that turns out.
I will spend karma.
Okay.
Alright, and I will spend the 10 necessary to get that green to a yellow.
All right. Miles, make an agility check for me.
My currently poor agility, got it?
Yes.
I believe I will also spend karma.
Probably a good idea.
Oh, fuck me. Do I want to? Is it worth spending 50 karma to get that to a green?
Jeez.
No, just take it, man.
Yeah, no, I guess I'll just spend the 10. That's a white.
Okay, you point your staff, and basically everything metal in this room, which is a lot of stuff, including the armor, all goes flying directly at Dracula's still open wound, and he's going to take a lot of damage. That's the good news. The bad news is, the Staff of One is topped with metal, and
Yep.
it also goes flying across the room out of your hands.
That's cool.
Dracula's trying to brush this metal off of himself when he grabs the Staff of One, looks at it, looks back at you, and grins a fangy grin. Dante, this last guy is really he's gonna take you down, man. I think this is your new archenemy.
Bob.
Nope, doesn't even come close. I'm gonna say he also gets tangled up in the cape, and you
Yes.
guys are just sort of flailing around. Dracula turns with the Staff of One still in his hand and breaks through the door out of this room and runs out. Mordin, it is your turn. You have finished tying up everyone in this room.
Cool. I'm gonna start heading towards where the action is.
As you exit the room,
If it's convenient to do so in like straightaways or places where I have a clear line of sight across a large distance, I'm gonna portal.
Okay, yeah, actually, I'll say that'll let you close the gap basically within this turn.
Cool.
You are still naked, I will point out.
I'm disguised as a lady. No, I don't sleep naked.
You said in the last session that you took off your dress before you went to bed.
I have my small clothes.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that does raise the question of where you would be still wearing your image inducer if you were absolutely naked.
Yeah, come on.
So, okay, all right, you're in your small clothes. Dante's the only one still running around totally naked.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mordin, you basically portal to the armory just as you see Dracula is heading out the far end of the door. Stitch, it is your turn. Nico basically destroyed all of the armor.
Stitch is gonna immediately run over to that pile of metal, pick up his guitar, and where is Dracula?
He ran out of the room.
Okay, he's gonna follow.
Okay, Stitch is following. Dante?
I have to deal with this guy.
I mean, he's kind of a pest.
Just fucking, like, throw him off a balustrade. Fuck it.
Will you guys either kill each other or start making out already, please?
This is the weirdest meat cute I've ever seen.
You know what? Let's just keep him. He keeps following you.
Can I just tie him up in the cape?
Yeah, you can try to do that. You just need to actually roll well.
Okay, I'm gonna
Maybe
do
we
that.
can train him.
All right, so make an agility check for me.
You're gonna roll well?
Oh, yes, I did. I got a 76.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, that's a yellow.
You managed to finally sort of extricate yourself from your own clever trap
Jesus.
and wrap him up in it. He's sort of still writhing, trying to escape, but it's clear he's not going to escape anytime soon. He's effectively out of the fight. Nico, it is your turn.
So I'm going to do what Nico has been shown doing in the comics, which is say the words Staff of One to me, reach out the witch arm and summon the staff back to my hand, which it has to do.
Sweet. Do you remember, does it teleport or does it physically move?
I believe it physically moves. But
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Stitch, as you come tearing out the door and you're running down the hallway, you suddenly see the Staff of One come flying through the air, and you sort of have to, like, duck underneath it as it flies into the armory, and then into Nico's hand. Nico, you have your staff back.
Thank you.
I'm going to say that at this point, all of you have basically caught up to each other. You all follow Dracula out the door. You guys are on a bridge which connects the armory with the Great Hall. And you can see that on the bridge, standing in your way, is a line of 8 more of these mind-controlled peasants. And standing in front of them, also facing you, is Geralt, who has his steel sword drawn.
Aww.
And he too is chanting the mind-controlled chant.
He's chanting mind-controlled,
Yes.
mind-controlled.
I am mind-controlled.
Well, if the episode of Smash Fiction with him taught us anything, he's kind of a pushover, right? So we should.
That's
be
right,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, you need to cast Summon Link, apparently.
Yeah.
Mordin, you are up first.
Can I see a window into the Great Hall from here?
Make an intuition check with a bonus for perception.
I got a yellow.
Excellent. You actually spot an open window leading into the Great Hall.
Can I portal there?
You may.
Yeah, I'm going to shoot a portal into the Great Hall and then step through a nearby wall and cut Dracula off at the proverbial pass. And if the other
off at the pass? I hate that cliche.
if the other members of the League wish to join me, there is an open portal behind me.
Yes. So, Mordin, you are now in the Great Hall. You step in just as Dracula does from another door. He sort of looks at you with fury in his eyes. You dare to stand against the king of the undead.
In my time period, we've done away with monarchies.
Stitch, it is your turn.
Oh, where's that portal?
Probably in the ground.
Oh, so it's in the ground, then it appears like in a wall behind. Oh, shit. Stitch is so fascinated by this. He pokes his head in, pulls it back out, puts his butt in. He's yeah, this is his turn.
Okay, just...
He's gonna actually start throwing random shit through this portal. It's just so fascinating.
So yeah, I picture like a pine cone flies through and hits Mordin in the head.
The DDC comes flying through.
Yes.
Very good, Stitch. An excellent use of your turn. Geralt raises up a hand and casts Ard at Dante. But misses. It strikes the stone on the bridge in front of Dante, sending up a painful but harmless spray of pebbles into Dante's face. And that brings us to Dante.
Cowabunga, jumping into the portal.
All right, you are now in the Great Hall along with Mordin and Dracula. You can still act if you wish.
Are they engaged?
No, they're kind of across the room from each other.
They're not that serious.
Oh,
I
Miles,
was
you
like,
beat me to it.
it's a trick question. First, I get down on one knee.
Okay, good.
No. And I'm naked still.
Yep.
Is it cold?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a brisk
It's
night.
pretty cold, yeah. I mean, you're in Winterfell.
Problematic.
So, are you now going to take your turn to explain to Mordana that it's really cold out? And
No, I'm going to... What does the Great Hall look like? What's in the Great Hall?
There's several long tables and benches sort of spread out amongst the majority of the room. There's a couple of doors sort of along the walls. There's a raised area where there's some fancier looking tables and chairs where like the royals would eat. And above it all is like several large chandeliers that are made out of like antlers and such.
Okay, antlers. I want to climb up one of the pillars and jump onto a chandelier and make it fall.
How are you making it fall?
Strength. I'm pulling it apart.
Okay, so you're just like trying to break the chain that holds it to the ceiling?
Yes.
I take it you're trying to drop it onto Dracula?
No.
No, you're just trying to make it drop?
Yes.
Okay, I'll say you can do that automatically.
Thank you.
You jump up onto the chandelier and break the chain with your hands, and it comes crashing down onto one table. Nico, it is your turn.
I'm gonna step to the portal for one thing.
Okay, very good.
I'm gonna point my staff at him and say, weak-willed.
Okay.
I'm trying to get rid of his psychic control.
Oh, that's very good. All right, let's see how you do.
Not great. That's white.
Oh, man, you just failed a spellcasting check, Miles.
I did. You're right.
Make another psyche check for me.
Another white.
You direct your will into a psychic attack on him, but his mental strength is much, much greater than you anticipated. And he basically uses your psychic attack as an avenue directly into your mind. Nico, you are now mind controlled.
Oh
no.
Dracula sees that Dante has taken down the chandelier. Dracula's going to leap across the room at Dante, holding out his hand as he does so. There's a whirl of black smoke that erupts from between his fingertips and then lengthens, becoming a large scythe, which he swings at Dante as he lands.
Definitely video game.
You should get
that
that.
was pretty stylish.
You should get that checked out, bro.
He's definitely Castlevania Dracula.
We call that a fungus
That is
in my
correct.
world.
He is Castlevania Dracula. Dante, you barely managed to duck down as the scythe whistles over your head.
Fuck yeah.
And Mordin, it is your turn.
First of all, I'm going to put the second... Oh, no, that might kill people. I was thinking I was going to put the second portal, the one that's in this room, on the ceiling, so that if Geralt or the others try to follow us, they'll just fall from the ceiling.
Yeah, and probably break their leg.
Yeah, I want to put it at like a injured but probably not fatal height, if that's possible.
Yeah, I mean, like, with the way portals work, if you just put it, like, 10 feet up the wall,
Yeah.
you know, they'll come out in, like, a parabolic arc.
Okay, that sounds good. Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay.
Is that my turn?
That is not your turn. You're just basically changing one portal, so that's fine.
Okay. That's like my move action or whatever?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, great.
You can do something else.
I am going to use Incinerate on Dracula. I got a green.
Yeah, you nail him. What's the damage on that again?
Remarkable.
Very good.
And it reduces his body armor by 4 ranks, if he has
Oh, that is useful.
Yeah.
You have gotten rid of his body armor.
Sweet.
Okay, Stitch, it is your turn,
All right, so out from the portal
which is now high up on the wall.
Oh,
comes
nice.
flying a almost complete suit of armor at Dracula.
Okay. Make an agility check.
That's a yellow.
Yeah, you nail him.
Out from the portal comes Stitch wearing a helmet, a nice shiny
Oh,
helmet.
that's excellent.
As he's flying through the air, he puts his guitar underneath him and then like lands on a table doing a sweet ass slide on his guitar.
You gotta stop surfing on your guitar, and like when you're midair, you need to play a 6 solo.
Yeah, seriously.
I don't want to just randomly shoot out a cone of music that destroys.
And also, if you can blow up something behind you as you do so, that would be even better.
I'm
And like
working
find
on
some
it.
sunglasses.
I'm looking for sunglasses.
You need
okay.
to you need to like set some TNT with like a delayed fuse behind you.
At this point, Geralt and the other commoners come pouring in through the portal.
Dan, if I can't use my guitar as a sweet ass board, what the fuck am I supposed to do with it?
I mean, use it as a
No.
guitar that shoots out destructive sound waves, maybe?
You plebe.
All right, sure. Speaking of the plebes, I rolled an agility check for all of them to see how they landed. And they
Plebe.
rolled a collective 4. So I'm going to say they are all out.
Oh, okay, great.
Geralt, on the other hand, is made of sturdier and more agile stuff. He actually lands quite gracefully I'm going to say he lands at the same place that Stitch does, meaning he's bringing his sword down on Stitch. But Stitch, your helmet deflects it.
It just like vibrates. And
Yep.
He's gonna go like walking all jiggly legs off the table.
Very Looney Tunes of you. Dante, it is your turn.
So my chandelier is my new weapon now.
Okay.
And I'm going to pick it up by its chain and start swinging it around.
Oh, that's so good.
And I want to aim it at Dracula.
Give me a fighting check.
Okay.
With a bonus for...
Chandeliering?
Just a bonus. Just give yourself +1, because you're using a giant chandelier as a weapon.
Excellent.
Did you take a weapon proficiency in chandeliers?
Oh, shit! I got a 90. It might be red. Let me check. Oh, not quite. It's yellow.
Okay. You knock Dracula through the wall.
Woohoo!
Yeah, he has been knocked through a hole in the wall, and he's basically, like, out of the Great Hall by this point.
And then I go, jackpot.
Nico, it is your turn.
Can I try and break the mind control?
Oh, that's right, you're mind controlled. Yeah, roll me a psyche check.
That's green.
Yeah, not good enough to break Dracula's
Yeah, I
mind
didn't
control.
think so.
Nico, you point your staff at Mordin and say fetters. And
Damn it! Damn, I was
roll-
saving that one.
roll psyche
You did.
for me.
Green.
Okay, Mordin, you are wrapped up in chains.
Are they just tied to me, or are they like bound to something else? Or
They're just like wrapped up around you.
okay,
It's kind of like a Mobius strip of chains. So like there's no real end, you know? They just sort of like collapse into it itself,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. Of course it doesn't make sense, but that's what it is. Okay, Mordin, it is your turn. You are chained up.
can I say that I can sort of shuffle around a little bit and get maybe 6 to 12 inches of loose chain, like around my wrists, like I have like a little bit of slack, or no?
What are you planning on doing with it?
I was going to make a portal at my feet and dip the chain down into it, and then disconnect the portal to cut the chain.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's excellent.
Brilliant.
You can make the attempt. The difficulty is that your arms are kind of pinned at your side. So, like, aiming the portal is going to be the tricky part. So, give me an agility check at -2.
Okay.
But you do get a bonus for guns.
I'm going to spend karma.
Okay.
I rolled a 57. Is green enough?
Yeah, that'll do it.
Okay, cool.
You dip one part of the chain in, and the portal snaps shut, severing the chain perfectly cleanly. And once the chain is broken, it just sort of like falls at your feet.
Yeah.
Now that it's like lost its tightness.
That fucking portal gun.
Stitch, it is your turn. Geralt is currently trying to attack you.
Stitch removes the helmet and his head is still shaking. And he uses his 2 extra hands to catch his head, keep it from shaking, looks up at Geralt, and chucks the helmet in his face.
Okay, give me an agility check.
That's a yellow.
Thunk. That's a bullseye with a thrown weapon. So yeah, you hit Geralt right in the face.
He's good at hitting people in the face with shit.
I'm going to say that gives Geralt a chance to break mind control. Because you hit him in the head. He blinks his eyes slowly, kind of like asymmetrically, and is just like looking around in utter confusion. Geralt is no longer mind controlled.
Yeah. We don't know that yet. Get him.
Stitch is gonna go running after Dracula.
Okay, it is now Geralt's turn. Liz, I believe you have the honors.
Geralt goes outside.
Okay, Geralt pursues.
His medallion is pulsing.
Yes,
Just like
he's reaching for his silver sword, I take it.
Dante's. Never mind.
Okay, great. Speaking of, it's Dante's turn.
He's running after Geralt in a totally romantic way.
All right, Nico. Oh, you still need to make a psyche check to see if you can break mind control.
That's fucking better. That is a yellow.
Dracula must be weakening. You can feel his grip on your mind loosening ever so slightly, and that's just all you need to sort of muster your own willpower and force him away from you.
Okay.
It leaves you exhausted and sweating, but you've managed to break his mind control.
Okay.
What do you do?
He's out of the room?
Correct. He's outside.
I follow him.
All right. Dante's blow with the chandelier knocked Dracula through the wall and into the lich yard. So you guys are standing amidst headstones in the shadow of the broken tower of Winterfell beneath a full moon. And you can hear the sounds of wolves eagerly growling and howling from behind the thick walls as Dracula crouches atop a tomb, glowering at all of you with his red glowing eyes. So it is his turn. He basically leaps in your direction and erupts into a cloud of bats, which swarm all over all of you. Mordin, you're the only person inside right now. Everyone else needs to make an agility check for me as you are swarmed by bats.
Ew.
I'll spend karma on this.
Okay.
Yellow.
Green.
Oh, should I roll for Geralt too?
I just rolled
Okay,
for him.
great.
So Geralt actually gets hit by several bats and they take chunks out of him. The rest of you manage to suitably bat them away or otherwise evade their attack so that you're not hurt.
Hey, Dan, what do we manage to do to them? Dan, what was it that you said?
You managed to divert them with rapid hand gestures.
No, say it!
Damn it, you caught me in a pun trap. The bat swarm flies away from all of you and recollects itself as Dracula in the midst of the gravestones. Mordin, it is your turn.
That's the name of my new metal band, In the Midst of the Gravestones.
Yeah.
Gravestones are portal conductive, right?
Oh, super portal conductive.
As we all know. Nice big flat surfaces. Yeah.
The issue is finding one large enough to make a portal on.
Yeah. I was considering like popping out of a gravestone behind Dracula and like tying his foot up in a chain or something, but he can just turn into bats, so I don't really think that's going to do anything, as demonstrated by the fact that he just turned into bats. So, I think I'm going to cryoblast him.
You're currently not in range of him because you're still in the Great Hall.
Can I go after him and then cryoblast him in this turn or no?
No, because everyone else had to spend their whole turn to get out there.
Did I have range? All right. Fine.
All right, so
I'll
you
go.
head outside.
I use portals. Is it faster? No, I'm just kidding. It's fine.
You know what? Actually, yeah. I'll say you have a portal gun so you can get there immediately.
Yeah! Cheating!
There you go. Cheating. All right, so you are outside and you can cryoblast.
Yeah! Suck it, everyone who doesn't have a portal gun.
Actually, I'll say what you do just to be cool is you make a portal in front of you and then like in a gravestone where you can see Dracula, and as you walk through, like you fire the cryoblast through the portal.
Yeah, that. I
All
do
right,
that. So that's a green.
Okay. So he takes the hit from your ice. As the ice is forming over his body, he just sort of throws his limbs out and the ice cracks apart. So you dealt damage to him, you just didn't freeze him.
Yeah.
Stitch, you are up.
Stitch is gonna narrow his eyes as he looks at Dracula, and suddenly the music plays like a little western ditty, whatever you call
Sure.
that little sting.
A little western guitar sting.
Wow, apparently we all have very different ideas of what a western sounds like.
And then undramatically, Stitch just chucks Marlene at
Okay.
Dracula.
Sure. Okay, roll agility for me.
He was psyching Dracula out to make him think something else was gonna happen.
Yep. Nope, just throwing a guitar at him.
Nope, red. Fuck
Yeah. Yeah, Dracula takes it like there's this discordant noise as Marlene hits him full on. Liz, it is Geralt's turn.
Oh, can we retroactively say it hits him in the face?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely hits
Always
him in the face.
face.
I want to cast Irden,
Okay,
so it'll slow him down.
so roll Psyche for Geralt.
Green.
So yeah, this magical rune appears at Dracula's feet and then erupts into energy. And Dracula takes a bunch of damage, but he resists the slowing and stunning effects of the spell.
Ooh.
Dante, you are up.
There's no cool shit in the environment, right?
Try to find a motorcycle of some kind.
I mean,
Yeah, I know, right?
You-
An ice
You could be a
cycle.
total dick and throw
icicle.
tombstones at him.
Actually, that's pretty good. No, but that would be mean.
Dante, I will say there are gargoyles which stick out of the broken tower.
Gargoyles, Dan, were grotesques.
In the books, they are described as gargoyles.
Okay,
so
I'm just
take
being-
your questions up with Mr. Martin.
I am going to rip off a gargoyle head and throw it at Dracula and say, catch!
So you leap up, rip off a gargoyle, and make an agility check.
That TV show Gargoyle should actually be called Grotesques.
Indeed.
Yeah, I don't think it would have had the same ring.
Yellow.
Yeah, you nailed Dracula with a grotesque / gargoyle. Or a
Boom.
grotesque gargoyle. Oh, Dracula's so unhappy right now, you guys. I can't even tell you. Nico, it is your turn.
Just so we're clear, we are currently in the Lich Yard,
Yes,
close to the outside of the castle with the wolf pack howling outside.
that is correct.
Okay. My spell in this case is going to be thrown to the wolves,
Okay.
and I'm going to try and blast him back through the wall of the Lich Yard into the wolf pack, which I
Okay.
know can hurt him.
Very good. I was hoping you were going to make a spell called, like, Doggy Door that just, like, opens a door for the wolves in the wall.
I mean, that works too, but
This is certainly more
I
dramatic.
think mine's cooler.
Yeah, absolutely. Go for
And
it.
I will spend karma on this. I'm going to spend 30 karma to kick that up to a yellow.
Excellent. Oh, Dracula. If you were going to fail any roll tonight, I'm glad you failed this one. With a gesture of your staff, magical energy envelops Dracula, and he doesn't even get a chance to really react before he's launched into the air. Basically, Dracula becomes a comet and slams very unwillingly through the wall. You all can see the wolves beyond. Their excited howling and growling turns to suddenly hostile and aggressive barking as they begin to close in on this vampire lord who has landed amidst their ranks. And you can see that bounding through all of the wolves is the dire wolf you saw earlier, her eyes gleaming in the excitement that can only be felt by a predator when it is pursuing its prey. You all see the wolves converge on Dracula, who disappears into their masses without a word. Within a few moments, it is over.
Oh, it's like the Scar and the Hyenas scene.
Basically. As all of you are catching your breath in the Lich Yard, Geralt says, all right, I feel like I should be the one to ask this because I feel like we have two pertinent questions to address at this juncture. Number one, is there any alcohol still in this castle? Number two, and he turns to Dante and says, why are you naked?
Extraordinary League is produced by Miles Schneiderman, with logo design by Colin Mulkerin.
Special thanks to Kevin MacLeod for our theme song, which is called Motherload. You can find his works at www.incompetech.com.
You can follow the Smash Fiction Podcast on Twitter at SmashFicPodcast and search for us on Facebook and Tumblr.
Subscribe on iTunes, and if you leave us a good review, we shall become more powerful than you can possibly imagine.
If you have any suggestions, feedback, or other contributions, send them to us at smashfictionpodcast@gmail.com and help us continue the fight.
Miles, feel free to edit out the part where people compliment me. It makes me uncomfortable. Just leave in the part where I say Dan is cool.
No, I can't do that, Colin. I can't.
No, of course not.
As a matter of principle, I can't leave in anything about anybody saying Dan is cool. That's disingenuous, for one thing.
It totally undermines the points you're trying to make about me on Twitter.
I want to suck your blood!
Yes, he does. Well,
Not now, Dante.
I say,
Yeah, you hear that coming from